Hi everyone, it's Gina from Gina K Designs and welcome back to another 5-minute cards video. Today I'm going to show you some easy Copic coloring and I'm going to be making a beautiful daisy card featuring the Divine Daisy stamp set. Here's the beautiful Divine Daisy by Hannah Drapinski, and it's got this huge daisy image that I'm going to use. And you can see I've got it already mounted onto my MISTI. Now I'm going to use a piece of cardstock that measures 3.5 by 4 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do some heat embossing. So I'm going to start with the embossing magic pad, which removes any static from the surface of the card and also any oil or anything else that might be on that cardstock. And you can see I've got that in that top corner, but it's taking up almost all of the card. I'm using the Gina K Designs Embossing and Watermark ink, and I'm inking up this stamp really well, and then I'm going to use my Chucky tool to make sure I get even pressure all over the surface. But you can use your sleeve over your hand or a rag or anything else. And I do have to remove the magnet to make sure I get that bottom area. Now once that's done, I'm going to place a clothespin in a spot that doesn't have the design, and then I'm going to add some Gina K Designs Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. So once I have that all over my cardstock, I'm going to heat that up using my Wagner heat tool. And you want to make sure that you get it completely embossed. It's a little hard to see, but if you turn it into the light while you do it, you can see the embossing powder melt and it becomes nice and shiny. Next, I'm going to use some sweet corn ink, and I'm going to ink all over the daisy. And everywhere that there's embossing powder, the embossing powder is going to resist the ink, so you'll be able to see the design appear in white. Now once I have this color all over the entire daisy, then I'm going to be ready to accent the center of the daisy. I'm going to do that with some warm cocoa ink, and I'm going to extend that ink a little bit past the center onto the bottoms of the petals. That just creates a little extra depth. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to clean off the surface just to make sure there's no ink resting on the surface. And I'm going to use the Masks and Filler stencil with a darker color brown, which in this case is dark chocolate, and I'm going to create a little extra texture in the center to make this appear a little bit more like a sunflower and a little less like a daisy. So I'm doing stripes in one direction, and then I'm turning that stencil about a quarter turn and doing stripes in the other direction to make a crisscross design across the center of that flower. And once again, I'm going to use that paper towel to wipe any ink that might be resting on the top of the embossing powder. Now it's time for some Copic coloring, and I'm using 3 colors here. My first color is YR21, and I'm going to do this large stroke motion, kind of flicking the tip of the Copic marker so that it's thicker at the bottom and then it comes to a finer point at the top. Now you can practice this flicking motion to make sure that you like the way your strokes look before you actually start to color onto your flower. It's pretty easy to do, just takes a couple practice strokes and you'll see how beautiful this Copic coloring method creates texture and it creates depth in your card. Now my second color is YR12, and I'm doing the same thing, but the strokes aren't going quite as far up as that first color. So I'm layering these colors on top of each other. I'm not worrying about blending the colors together. I'm just doing these strokes, and you can see it's starting to create a lot of beautiful depth in this daisy. So I'm going all around, completely around the flower here to show you. Even on the side here where there's not much, just keep doing that flicking motion, because then the strokes will look the same. And then once you have all that done, you're going to go to your last color. And my last color is E34. And again, I'm doing the same thing, but these strokes are much shorter. So it's creating lots of depth close to the center of the flower. It's really interesting how when you do this little flicking motion and you layer colors on top of each other, going from the lightest color with the longest strokes to the darkest color with the shortest strokes, it creates beautiful depth and it looks very well blended together, even though you're not doing any blending at all. You don't have to worry about trying to blend over a line and smooth things up. Well, I'm finishing up this design with one of the greetings stamped in charcoal brown. Then I layered that onto a charcoal brown card base and onto a craft card base. And there's my finished card. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's 5-minute card video, and I hope you'll give this technique a try. Stay tuned to my channel for more 5-minute card videos and more Stampin' Chat videos too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.